Okay, for my second installation of the graduate profile technology integration, I did communication last week. So this week, I'm going to do critical thinking and problem solving. So, just as a reminder, the link to this document is also in the playbook on my Tech Time slide, so you can get it anytime. I'm going to continue to update it and add resources to it as I come across them, and you can tell it's a work in progress. So kind of bear with me there. But anyway, they'll all be here if you ever need the links or you forget what one was that I talked about or something like that. They're always going to be here for you. So critical thinking and problem solving. And by the way, all of the resources that I have linked here are all free, so you don't have to worry about that. Because that's how I roll. So, observe situations in order to define problems is the first topic under critical thinking and problem solving. So, I just added Google Forms to record observations. It's a great way to gather data or to observe. You can just have kind of what you're looking for and have selections and just make it a quick way to choose options instead of having to scribe or type a lot of stuff or write everything down. So, great way to gather data. Is just by using Google Forms, and they're really quick and easy to set up. These three sources that I have here, Community in Crisis, Vital Signs, and After the Storm, they're all published by the same website, and they're kind of little interactive simulations. So Community in Crisis, the student acts as the director of a community center, and they're kind of dealing with community issues and different things like that, and they have to make decisions along the way. And then Vital Signs, the student is in a medical office and kind of dealing with situations that might pop up there. And then After the Storm, they're a news director, so they're dealing with natural disasters and things happening in a community all of a sudden, and how to make those decisions. So those are kind of cool. And again, they're simulations, all web-based and all published by the same person. Ask questions, make predictions, gather data, and analyze information. So again, I've got Google Forms surveys on here. Great way. They're just so versatile. So they could probably fit on all of them, honestly. YouTube Pause and Predict. I didn't link anything here, but there's a whole kind of culture out there, YouTube Pause and Predict. So you just have to Google that and you get all kinds of resources. So the gist of it is that you would play part of a YouTube video and then literally just pause. And then you prompt the students, like, what do you think is going to happen next? And why do you think that? And they kind of have to make inferences and different things like that. And again, that lends right to making predictions. So YouTube Pause and Predict, if you don't have any resources on that already, there are a lot of them out there. That's why I didn't really link any, because they're really easy to find. Or if you have a video, it's kind of cool to, set them up and then pause it. And what do you think is going to happen next? Newsfeed Defenders. This is kind of a social media application. So the students would go in and analyze different social media feeds and things like that. So that one's kind of cool and very relevant to today. The next section is evaluate various solutions and use evidence to build a viable case. So the first one I chose was Little Alchemy 2. And this one is like a problem solver, puzzle kind of thing. And it has kind of a chemistry background, but there's all kinds of history and math and stuff in there as well. It got really, really high ratings on the Common Sense Media site. So check that one out if you get a chance. GeoGuessr, I just love this one. This is where it uses Google Maps to kind of drop you in a location, and you have to scoot around on the Google map to find context clues about where you are, and you try to figure out where geographically you are based on languages and road signs and different things like that. They'll have, a guess of the day or a location of the day, or you can pick famous landmarks, or so if you're studying something specific in your class, you can choose, that city or that landmark. So just really fun to do. Quandary iPhone app. It is an iPhone app, so that's why I put that specifically. So I know that might limit some of your students in class. They would need to have an iPhone and download this. But this is a really cool app where it has a lot of ethical dilemmas, and the students, you can kind of work them out or talk about them. Great talking points. I imagine this if on a choice board, that way students who have an iPhone could go ahead and get it, or you could pair students up, one with an iPhone with the app, and just a lot of different ways you could use that. But it's really cool for ethical issues. And then Parable of the Polygons is a website, and it's kind of a puzzle. And I think there are different puzzles on there, and it deals with diversity and bias. And it's just kind of a really different way of looking at it. So it was pretty cool. And then finally, a range of tools, including technology to solve a problem. So these are just some that I chose, and there are a lot of options out there. Kids Think Design is a really good, it's been around for a long time, so it's not been updated in a little bit, but I think the basis of it is still valuable and good. So there are several choices. Kids can choose a different occupation, and then there are all kinds of design features along with it. And then they have these little design applications the students can use within it. So it just kind of good thinking skills and creating in there. ThingLink is really cool. It's like a 3D room that you can embed things in, so you can kind of spin around the room. I love it for digital breakouts. You can put different clues around the room, and the kids zoom around in 3D to look at it. So just a lot of applications. I know one teacher who is going to use it as like a student portfolio, and she's going to have them like in a room and hang kind of pictures on the wall, different kinds of things that they're going to share with their parents and with their school. So that was a really cool idea. Contraption Maker is really fun. It's got a lot of these goofy little elements and pieces and crazy little things that kids would have to put together and connect, kind of build a puzzle to solve some sort of a problem. It's really fun. It also got really high marks. So just maybe some engineering, some general problem solving, and just some fun in Contraption Maker. Beats Empire, really, really cool. This is where students do some music production. So I think there's a whole group of students that would love this. They not only, can do some music production, but they act as a band manager and have all these kind of problems to solve. So that one was really cool. And then Global Problem Solvers is like an animated little clips where kids have different kinds of issues with global awareness and things like that to deal with. So really cool. Again, all of these are free, and I see them in many different, subject matters. You could adapt them in a lot of different ways. I would love to see some of these in maybe a choice board, that way kids can choose, like some might love the beats, but then some might love GeoGuessr. So you could have just some time where students can choose which one they want to go to. So a lot of applications. I hope these are helpful. If you have any questions on how to use any of these, just let me know, and I'll be happy to help you and your students. Thanks so much.